Yeah, mama, you are the baby. What brown to you? And yes, I'm a baby. I'm a two. Ubinti zikawa rini tampu dentino mikona mi maye nyabuchwe. Yankoti odrum renwa hangaya siwa hansu oremwa. Mikona mi maya mapunyo. Wampai bona nyami bona mibedua. Mesha wa mawansi.
For free and for fro. New Radio XYZ 93.1 FM. Yabba!
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the news update at 2 here on Radio XYZ 93.1 with me, Ja Edubia and Nimpesi. Coming up this afternoon, Czech Republic President Petr Pavel describes Ghana as an investment destination. Jeche Kwesing has been acquitted and discharged by the Accra High Court. Also coming up, Supreme Court adjourns case on Chief Justice removal indefinitely. And on Newsmaking International Front, 3 Americans jailed over failed DR Congo coup return home. This news is live on our Facebook at Radio XYZ 93.1. Stay tuned for details and more. And now the details. And President of the Czech Republic, Petr Pavel, has described Ghana as an investment destination with great potential. According to him, the Czech Republic is in its best year in a decade, and choosing Ghana as an investment destination tells it all. He maintains that Ghana is an attractive partner to the development partners of the country. He says that although the figures and data don't tell a good story, Ghana's goodwill creates a stable condition in the sub-region for investment by the Czech government. He was speaking at the Ghana Czech Business Forum at the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel here in Accra.
We're second best within the last decade, and it clearly demonstrates that Ghana is an attractive partner to our country, to our businesses. But in fact, the reality is not so much given by figures, it's being done by people. People with courage, with vision and goodwill. And I hope that this room is full of people of these qualities, because it really requires people with courage to move things forward. We politicians have it easier. We open the door if we have goodwill, and we create conditions. The rest is up to you. And I believe that both President Mahama and myself, we have the goodwill to open the door wide and to create the best possible conditions for you to go forward.
Now, on his part, President John Dramani Mahama indicated that deepening economic ties will benefit the two nations greatly, citing the abundance of natural resources, youthful population, and the high level of technological know-how of the Czech Republic. The two nations will have a great symbolic relationship. He cited the 24-hour economy, manufacturing, agriculture, and agribusinesses as the new areas for investment.
Today's gathering represents a significant milestone in the long-standing relationship between our two nations, a relationship whose foundation dates from as far back as 8 October 1959, when diplomatic ties were first established between Ghana and the then Czechoslovak Socialist Republic. In the decades since, our relations have evolved and deepened, weathering the storms of global geopolitical shifts and emerging stronger with each passing year. Today, we stand poised to elevate this relationship to greater heights, transforming our historical bonds into dynamic economic partnerships in the 21st century. This forum comes at an opportune time, bringing together private sector actors from both Ghana and the Czech Republic to network, explore synergies, and forge sustainable business partnerships for the mutual benefit of our two countries, as we collectively navigate the recent global challenges and embrace the transformative potentials of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement signed recently. The presence of so many distinguished business leaders and government officials at this forum underscores the importance both countries attach to the strengthening of our economic and commercial ties.
President Pete Paver arrived in Ghana yesterday for a historic 3-day state visit. He later visited the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. Now to some other stories, and the James Gyekye Quayson, the Member of Parliament for Asin North, has been acquitted and discharged by the Accra High Court after facing criminal charges linked to allegations of dual citizenship. The ruling, delivered on Wednesday, April 9, 2025, concludes a long-standing legal battle over claims that Quayson held Canadian citizenship when he filed to contest the 2020 parliamentary elections, an act the prosecution argued violated the Ghanaian constitution. Quayson, who consistently denied the allegations, had maintained that he renounced his Canadian citizenship prior to filing his nomination. The acquittal followed a submission of no case to answer filed by Quayson's legal team. In its decision, the court held that the prosecution had failed to provide essential elements of the alleged offences. The judge ruled that Quayson had not made any false declarations in his 2020 nomination form. At the time, he declared that he owned allegiance to no country other than Ghana. The court found that he had already applied to renounce his Canadian citizenship, demonstrating that he had no dishonest intent. Speaking after the ruling, Mr. Quayson expressed relief over the court's decision.
It's almost expected because, you see, when a man is innocent, no matter what you do, it will be pronounced as some later. They were for persecution. They were trying to prosecute. This is a court of law, difference between prosecution and persecution. And I'm very proud that Our Lady Justice, Mary, I was going to tell her in the courtroom, but I mean, the rules doesn't allow that. I was going to tell her she's a very decent human being, and more blessings for her. Thanks to God, thanks to all these family, friends, my dear sister here, Member of Parliament. We're all in this together. And I think this is a day for Asin North. Justice for Asin North and justice for Ghana. It's not about me.
Well, let's stay a little at the court because the Supreme Court has adjourned the hearing of an application seeking to injunct the ongoing process for determining the prima facie case concerning petitions for the removal of the Chief Justice. The adjournment of prompted by the absence of the Attorney General, who had secured an excuse from the Chief Justice. The Attorney General requested the Chief Justice to order an adjournment of all cases involving the office from April 7 to April 10 due to ongoing training for lawyers at the Attorney General's office. In response, two state attorneys, including a former personal assistant of Godfred Dame during his tenure as Attorney General, sought an adjournment of the Ketsi to the court. However, Godfred Yeboah Dame, representing Vincent Eko Asifua, the plaintiff in the matter, expressed surprise at the decision of Attorney General Dominic Ayini and his deputy, Dr. Justice Srimsai, to the absence due to a training workshop for state attorneys. Godfred Dame subsequently requested the court to adjourn the case to Monday, April 14. However, the court, presided over by Justice Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, decided to adjourn the case indefinitely. The former Attorney General spoke to the media after the court adjournment.
What makes it more odd is the fact that they send state attorneys, not even one but two senior state attorneys, to come inform the court that they are the conference. So that is all. Or there's an application for a secretary injunction pending. So why would anybody proceed? How far and fight interest and fight court? It would be the height of the discarded rule of law if they proceed in that manner. It's not my expectation. It's the expectation of the law. The law expects that such regard for due process be observed. And so it will be actually a confirmation of their disregard for the rule of law. And I think that you should see the affidavits filed by the Attorney General I would say that the Lord has a fine way of exposing the hearts and desires of men. The Lord has an interesting way of exposing the hearts and true desires of men. And indeed, it's been evidence in the affidavit filed by the Attorney General. They did not intend to accord any right of hearing to the Chief Justice until the matter was filed. And they indicated it in the affidavit. So it's quite clear. Okay, I'll leave it at that. The merits determined by the court will argue in court.
Godfrey Yeboah-Dame is the former Attorney General. Now, to some international stories, and 3 Americans convicted of their role in a failed coup in the Democratic Republic of Congo last year have been sent home to the U.S. to serve the rest of their jail term. The 3 were originally sentenced to death by a military court before the sentences were commuted to life imprisonment last week. U.S. Department of State spokesperson Tammy Bruce said the 3 were in our custody. The repatriation comes as the U.S. and DR Congo explore a deal to exploit the Central African country's huge mineral wealth. Last week, U.S. President Donald Trump's senior advisor for Africa visited DR Congo and confirmed that the 2 countries were in talks about minerals and said it could involve multi-billion-dollar investment. DR Congo has a large deposit of coltan and cobalt used in electric equipment and batteries for electric cars, which are currently largely extracted by Chinese mining companies. The 3 Americans convicts, Marcel Malanga Malu, Taylor Thompson, and Zalman Polan Benjamin, left DR Congo on Tuesday to serve the remainder of their sentences in the U.S., said Congolese presidential spokesperson Tina Salama. And that ends the news update on Radio XYZ 93.1 with me, Ja Edubia and Nimpesi. Up next is Corner Line Sports with Roger Emmanuel and team. Many thanks for listening and have a good afternoon.
This show with this white coach phenomenon.
It's a Corner Line Sports the radio XYZ metaphor. Sentini siya na chesa makumi na atsomi and the obeti on the line, on the spot, left, go!